Hey, Garrett, what do you want to do for food? I was gonna DoorDash us something, so just tell me what you want to get. Okay, well, I'm thinking Five Guys. I'm in the mood for Five Guys right now. That was inappropriate. During such divisive times right now, I'm gonna say something that we can all relate to. Food. Some of us like it, some of us don't. Some of us only like it when we're not depressed. Some of us only like it when we are depressed. But at the end of the day, we all gotta eat food, and that's where we all come together in unison. But sometimes eating food can go horribly wrong. One day you're eating food as one would normally do, and then the next thing you know, you got fucking salmonella. Or, God forbid, E. coli. On the internet, I've read some pretty interesting but horrifying food recall stories. And that, my friend, is what we're gonna be talking about today. I picked 4 true food recalls that really sparked my attention, and I'm gonna tell you about them. The recalls I'm going over today aren't just gonna be the regular iceberg lettuce contaminated with some shit. That happens all the time. No, that's too normal. We're gonna be going over recalls that you'd think would never happen. And maybe we'll even leave you second guessing what you're eating. Which, American food, food dyes that could probably kill a pilgrim child. When was the last time I had a salad? Anyway, this is the 2013 horse meat scandal. In late 2012, the Food Safety Authority of Ireland received lab results of certain beef product samples containing disturbing percentages of undeclared pig and horse DNA. Not only is this a bad thing for specific religious groups, as eating certain meats such as pork and horse is considered sinful, but it also poses a slight potential health risk. Some horses, more specifically sports horses, are often given phenylbutazone, or bute for short, which treats pain and fever in animals. Thankfully, the samples tested negative for bute and other drugs typically given to horses. In early 2013, the FSAI, that's the Food Safety Authority of Ireland, by the way, if you didn't understand the acronym, the FSAI reported that frozen beef burgers in several Irish and British supermarkets were found to contain horse meat. Following this announcement, the concerned retailers Tesco, Dunn's, Aldi, Lidl, and Iceland Supermarket had their potentially at-risk products removed immediately, and the stores dropped by millions in value, with Tesco dropping by 360 million euro. Findus, a Swedish frozen food company, was alerted that they did not conform to specification regarding their beef lasagna. It was revealed that in the UK, France, and Sweden, ranges of Findus beef lasagna, shepherd's pie, and other Findus beef claimed products were found to contain as much as 100% undeclared horse meat instead of beef. Jesus Christ. How would you even know? Would it would it taste different? Would you notice a taste difference immediately? For my non-American viewers, we don't typically eat horses in the United States. You know, usually we just ride them, and if we break their legs, then we kill them. Actually, let me see if any U.S. states eat horse. I'm curious now. Oh, it's actually banned in a lot of states. Okay. I would try it, though. I'm curious how it would taste. I feel like horse would taste kind of similar to just regular beef. Hey, Siri, what does horse meat taste like?
Horse meat has a slightly sweet taste that is reminiscent of beef.
Siri knows from personal experience. Thanks, Siri.
Sure thing.
What the fuck? I didn't know it was going to respond to me. The horse meat that was found in Common-Go products such as Findus originated from Romanian slaughterhouse Dolichom. The meat had left Romania clearly and correctly labeled as horse, according to an inquiry from the French government. It was afterwards that it was labeled as beef. Sounds like some fraud going on. Dolichom supplied the horse meat under a contract to Netherlands-based meat trader Drap Trading Ltd, with Jan Fazen as a director, who was previously convicted in 2012 for a horse meat fraud going back to 2007. Gee, Drap, which is horse in Dutch spelled backwards, by the way, then sold the frozen meat to Spang Hero after having the horse meat delivered to a Breda storage company. Spang Hero insists that it was labeled as beef originating in the EU when it arrived to their plant. Spang Hero then sent it to Common-Go after processing. French media reports that Spang Hero apparently falsified documents regarding the meat. I figured. Not to go full conspiracy here or anything, but they don't care what they sell us. They're just trying to make money. Later in 2013, Willy Selten, a Dutch meat wholesaler who owns Willy Selten BV, was arrested with the company's interim director for allegedly selling 300 tons of horse meat, being falsely labeled as beef. Jesus Christ. And in 2016, Andronikos Sidera, they don't deserve to have their name correctly pronounced because of this. The owner of Dinos & Sons Ltd was charged for conspiring with Ulrich Nielsen and Alex Ulster Beach of Flexi Foods to falsely sell horse meat labeled as beef in 2012. So, you know how I just said I'm not trying to go full conspiracy? Well, they were literally conspiring. My lip's bleeding. Lack of awareness from companies made people question where their food was coming from, if they're actually eating what the labels claim, and if they can even trust sellers moving forward. This scandal was spread across 13 other European countries. It also involved companies such as ABP Food Group, which affected Burger King, Fridge Lunch, which affected Bird's Eye Frozen Foods, and H.J. Shike, which affected Nestle and their Buitoni beef products. This horse meat scandal wasn't the only reputation-shaking event that happened to the Italian food company. Running out of breath talking. See, what happens is I do a bunch of retakes back-to-back really quickly without taking any extra breaths, and I make myself lightheaded. In 2022, serious illness and 2 deaths were reported after an E. coli outbreak was linked to Buitoni fresh-up frozen pizzas. Inspections took place at one of Buitoni's sites in Caudry towards the end of March of 2022, where authorities stated the inspections, and I quote, highlighted a degraded level of food hygiene control in the Caudry plant, which justified the issuance of an order to seize industrial production activities in the plant. Disgusting and actually horrifying photographs from the RMC revealed the disgusting amounts of sanitary neglect and lack of basic hygiene in the factory. Pepperoni and its greasy juices spilled all over the floor, old food scraps all over the place, whatever the fuck this school chocolate milk looking shit is, just a total nightmare. And I mean, looking at this, who knows what people were consuming? Production at Buitoni's Caudry site was thankfully banned by the Prefecture of France's North Department. An investigation into Buitoni on the charges of involuntary homicides, deception, and the endangerment of others was opened by Paris's public prosecutor's office. Good. You know, stuff like this really makes me think of Kitchen Nightmares. That's the show. Oh my god. You know how in Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay essentially gives us a tour of all of these disgusting restaurants? Food that expired weeks ago. Have you ever watched an episode of Kitchen Nightmares and then later that same day or even the next day you go to a restaurant and you start thinking about what's going on? Because some of these places on Kitchen Nightmares look clean on the outside, but the deeper you go, the dirtier it gets. Buitoni in May 2022 had several of their frozen pizza brands linked to E. coli intoxications in France, which were recalled, and Buitoni's French factory has been shut down since March 2023. As of 2025, Buitoni's North American division was bought by Artisan Chef Manufacturing Company, but outside of the continent, Nestle still owns the brand. I'm sorry, I'm not trusting Buitoni still, and I'll tell you why. While doing research for this video, I saved a few screenshots of some reviews of Buitoni, some pretty damn recent ones at that. People are still getting sick from Buitoni left and right. By the way, for legal reasons, I have a very neutral stance on the Italian food company Buitoni. Isn't that right, Garrett? Now that I'm legally safe, let me find the most recent one I have saved here. Oh, look at that. Last night, I ate barbecue Buitoni pizza that... Okay, first problem eating barbecue pizza. I'm sorry. Overrated as hell. Last night, I had barbecue Buitoni pizza that tasted spicy, and my husband and I had vomiting at night, and I had diarrhea. I don't know. The only... no comma there. That messed me up. I don't know. The only thing I noticed that the pizza was a little sketchy. I only noticed that it was itchy, and I ate wait, what the itchy? What was itchy? Okay, next review. Both husband and I had Buitoni linguine, the fettuccine the night before. No issues. Linguine. Although, both of us woke up with abdominal pain and diarrhea. His stomach noises are what literally woke me. Shortly after, it was me. Symptoms. Diarrhea. Oh my god. His stomach noises are literally what woke me? Nah, that's fucked. That is fucked what Buitoni's doing out here. What's the next one? 11 months ago. Violently sick with nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea within 5 to 6 hours exactly for all 3 of us. We have a 1-year-old at home who did not eat the tortellini and did not get sick. A year ago. Buitoni brand tortellini was infested with mold. Symptoms. Nausea. Okay, first of all, why the fuck would you eat it if it has mold? I mean, unless you didn't notice it beforehand. Was stored properly, package was fully sealed, cooked as instructed, and had an expiration date of 11 February 2024. Filling had foul odor with exterior of pasta broken. Okay, I'm one of those people where if food seems even slightly off, I'm not gonna eat it. And while this is completely Buitoni's fault still, it's your fault for getting sick from eating something with an odor. Maybe it's just because I have severe emetophobia, but I am super cautious about not eating poisonous food. I go with my gut instinct when eating things. If I have even the slightest concern about something, I'm gonna avoid it. So yeah, people are still out here getting sick from Buitoni. I'm not gonna eat Buitoni. That's up to you. But you know, if something smells funky, don't eat it. Okay, save yourself the trouble and possible ER trip. Next up, the 2007 Peter Pan peanut butter salmonella outbreak. I'm a Peter Pan peanut butter eater, specifically the Peter Pan honey roasted peanut butter. Do we have any fellow honey roasted Peter Pan honey roasted peanut butter fans out there? Anyone? I have a question for those of you who consistently eat Peter Pan honey roasted peanut butter like I do. I swear to God, Peter Pan's honey roasted peanut butter is nowhere near as sweet as it used to be compared to like a few years ago. I don't know if I'm just like remembering it wrong, but I swear I don't think it's as honey roasted as it used to be. But I'll tell you what, in 2007, you wouldn't want to be eating Peter Pan peanut butter. What's believed to be the first peanut butter salmonella outbreak in the US, in February and March 2007, Peter Pan and Great Value peanut butter jars were recalled after being linked to 425 cases of salmonellosis. The recall affected jars with a product code starting with digits 2111 and including all peanut butter produced by ConAgra being sold in the US since October 2004. Following this recall, a rather unsettling PSA from attorney Jim Adler was being broadcasted on TV to warn the public about the diseased peanut butter, saying a cash reward may be possible for those who've been poisoned by the jar.
If you are one of the many who suffered from food poisoning because of contaminated peanut butter, you may be entitled to a cash award.
If you were hospitalized or if someone you know died from contaminated peanut butter, call attorney Jim Adler right now.
Oh my God, dude. Chills down my spine. This is, I'm not even like playing it up. This is actually like disgusting. I hate this PSA. It's so unsettling.
Suffered from food poisoning because of contaminated peanut butter.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck it is about it, but it like makes me like weirdly scared. Like actually, it like triggers my flight or fight response. I think it's like the urgent music in the background and the monotone voices. The idea of such a simple thing being able to kill you is horrifying. This PSA is something that would show up in like a lost episode creepypasta story. The clock strikes 3 a.m., the witching hour, as most people know, and one of the most disturbing PSAs I've ever seen in my life interrupted my Rick and Morty broadcast. In August 2007, Peter Pan products returned to stores. Fast forward to 2019, one of these salmonella-ridden peanut butter jars could be yours. An eBay listing for an unopened 2111 code Peter Pan jar from 2007 was found online. For just $211, you could own a piece of food poisoning history. More specifically, the price was set at $211.10, likely being a direct reference to the peanut butter's 2111 product code. That's a nice, wholesome, clever little Easter egg right there. I like that. That's cute. Now, two questions you may be asking. First of all, is this even legal? No. Not only does it go against eBay's own policies, but under the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act under 21 U.S. 331, it prohibits the introduction or delivery for introduction into interstate commerce of any food that is adulterated. Secondly, did anyone actually buy this? I don't know. The listing isn't public anymore, so I don't know if someone was able to buy it before they took it down, or if they took it down before someone was able to buy it. Editing Jeejay jump scare! Hey, peanut butter update. Still don't know if anyone ended up getting their hands on it, but Raymundo almost did. He almost bought it for a video. Fun fact, but he didn't end up doing it. I do recommend checking out his video about it, though. He has a whole video about the Peter Pan situation. It's really interesting, well made, in depth. So go check that out if you want to know more about this Yeah, I think I would consider dropping $200 on this. I'm a big fan of owning weird items. Unfortunately, I don't really have many weird items myself. I have fairly normal stuff, but collecting weird stuff is cool, solely for the fact that you get to brag about random shit nobody knows about. Imagine right there, a 2111 code 2007 Peter Pan salmonella contaminated peanut butter jar in a glass case sitting just right on top of my shelf for everyone to see. Not only would you own a piece of food poisoning history, you would also own one of the most incredible conversation starters of all time. Now, here's a question you can't avoid. Would you eat the peanut butter? There is a chance that peanut butter may not even have salmonella in it. Put it on some toast and eat it. Would you do it for $1 million? It could also make for really good content. Beast, get on that, buddy. Alrighty, last food recall of the day. It's actually not even food. It's Tylenol, which maybe some of your moms were snacking on when she was pregnant. Come on, that was a nice one. It was a RFK joke. Okay, this one is the Tylenol Murders of 1982. This one is actually batshit nuts. On September 28th, 1982 in Chicago, Mary Kellerman at 12 years old tragically passed away after being hospitalized from consuming extra-strength Tylenol. Not long later, reports of 6 other deaths arose, being Adam Stanley and Teresa Janis, plus Mary McFarland, Paula Prince, and Mary Rayner. What are the odds of 3 Marys being killed to Tylenol? Once it was found out they died after taking Tylenol, similar to Mary Kellerman's situation, an investigation began with suspicion that the Tylenol they took could be the cause of death. Investigator Nick Pishos noticed an almond-like scent from the bottle the Janis family possessed, and Cook County's chief toxicologist tested the capsules, resulting in the shocking discovery that 4 of the 44 remaining Tylenol capsules in the bottle contained 3 times the fatal amount of cyanide. Tylenol really can't catch a break as a company, man. They've been having controversy since the 80s. Johnson & Johnson issued a recall for the MC2880 Tylenol lot after investigators noticed the contaminated bottle the Janices and Kellerman took were part of the same lot. But the recall quickly expanded to all extra-strength Tylenol in the Chicago area once they realized there were tainted bottles from other lots, making it one of the largest pharmaceutical recalls ever. Further investigation revealed the bottles must have been tampered with after being put on local store shelves in the Chicago area, with the hypothesis being someone took the bottles off the shelves, slipped some potassium cyanide in, and put the bottles back. In 1983, the youngest victim, Mary Kellerman, had her address and grave location published at the FBI's request, with the areas being put under 24-hour video surveillance to see if the killer would show up at either spot. The killer did not make an appearance. This is like when Tom tries capturing Jerry with a trap, only for the trap to backfire on him. Except Tom's traps at least have some level of logic behind them. What the fuck were they thinking with this? Did they genuinely think the killer was gonna actually show up to the victim's gravesite? Why would they go to the gravesite? Somebody in the comments make this make sense to me. Am I stupid, or are they stupid? Or is it it's probably both. But common sense would tell me the killer who slipped cyanide in some random Tylenol bottles isn't gonna make an appearance at their victim's house or gravesite. 2 men, James Lewis and Roger Arnold, were individually suspects in this case. The first suspect, Lewis, sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the cyanide killings, and upon his arrest, even went into detail with authorities about, and I quote, how the person behind the attacks may have carried out the killings. He was also found to own a poisoning book, which contained pages relating to cyanide with his fingerprints discovered on the pages. Hey, editing Jeejay here. I forgot to mention, James Lewis also wrote and published a thriller in 2010 called Poison: The Doctor's Dilemma. This man wrote a thriller book about poison after being accused of poisoning people. I mean, you can't look any more guilty than that. Lewis then later admitted to writing the letter, but denied the killings. His attorney claimed he intended only to focus the attention of the authorities on his wife's former employer. Lewis was sentenced to 10 years in prison for extortion. He later died in 2023. The second suspect, Arnold, was in possession of potassium cyanide in the book The Poor Man's James Bond, which contained instructions on making potassium cyanide. He was claimed to be a rather erratic person after his marriage dissolved, reportedly discussing wanting to kill people with white powder. He worked at a warehouse with the father of victim Mary Rayner, and Arnold's wife had been treated in a hospital across the street from the store Rayner bought her unknowingly cyanide-laced Tylenol from. He had connections with the victim's father. Arnold was never charged, despite being held by police several times. However, unrelated to the Tylenol case, he did kill an innocent man named John Stanisha in 1983, who he mistook for someone else and served 15 out of 30 years for the murder. He later died in 2008. In 2010, both suspects in the Tylenol case, Arnold's corpse and Lewis, had their DNA sampled for testing, but no DNA matched for either of them on the tainted bottles. Investigations continued in 2011, with the FBI theorizing the Unabomber could have been involved, but no connections were found. To this day, as of November 2025, the Chicago Tylenol Murders remains unsolved. So the prime suspect was James Lewis for the Tylenol Murders, but was never arrested for that. Wow, that's, there's a documentary about this on Netflix I haven't seen, because there's just something about Netflix true crime documentaries that are just... one true crime documentary on Netflix I actually really liked at first was Don't Fuck with Cats. But then I thought about it some more, and I realized it's It's actually kind of fucked that they made a documentary about that, because they're giving the killer exactly what he wanted, which was attention.
Did we feed his narcissism to the point where he had to go forward? And you, watching a whole fucking documentary about Luca Magnotta, are you complicit?
So, yeah. But anyway, those are 4 food recall incidents that will make you question what you're eating. I'm standing up now to end the video because I've been sitting for 2 hours recording this. Maybe I'll do more videos standing up. Be safe with what you guys eat, okay? Again, if something has a foul odor, don't eat it. If something has mold on it, don't eat it. If something looks like Tylenol and tastes like Tylenol, it's probably Tylenol. Eat all of the Tylenol you possibly can. Especially if you're pregnant. Be sure to use your YouTube hype points to hype this video up. Let's get up there. Leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on, all that gabagool. Gary, got anything to say? Incredible. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, unless one of us unexpectedly dies. To Buitoni Tortellini.